and then they doubled it forever. G'day, ZiggyD here, and welcome back for some more Diablo 3 news. No doubt you guys have been playing plenty of D3 over the past week for the anniversary special event, which included 100% increased legendary drop rate. Now, I have had my reserves about this sort of, this style of gameplay buff, where for a limited amount of time you have an increase in legendary drop rate or an increase in XP gain or something like that. The reason being is that it sets a new precedent, like a new level for the game that players then get used to, especially if it's over something like the course of a week. And then when that ends, it's kind of like the actual normal game feels less rewarding. And, you know, then players are generally asking for higher and higher increases in this sort of thing, and it can be to the long-term detriment of the game. Now, the 1 week anniversary event, I was wondering, this is a very long event and doubling of legendary drop rates. A lot of people were getting pretty worried about what's going to happen after this, and I was even hearing a lot of people say that they were pretty much going to play for the 1 week event, and then after the legendary drop rates went back to normal, they were just going to stop playing the game because, you know, it wouldn't really feel that rewarding. But it seems that Blizzard had a different plan in mind when implementing this legendary drop rate buff. They were actually sort of testing it to see what it would be like, to see what people's reactions would be like if it made it onto the live service. So, after hearing everyone's praise for the increased drop ratings and how much fun everyone's been having, and that the vast majority of people loved the new drop rate, they have decided to keep it around forever. So once the buff will be disabled, sometime tomorrow morning, you'll find that the new baseline of drop rate of legendaries will be exactly the same as it was during the buff event. So if you've been thoroughly enjoying getting 30 plus legendaries a day, like, yeah, I have, it's been pretty fun, then that's going to be sticking around forever. Now, we have to give Blizzard some credit here. I think they've really putting a lot of effort in these days to really listening to the community, taking note of people's reactions to things like this, and even testing with things like this drop rate buff. It allowed them to test something that pretty dramatic, like doubling legendary drops, and get some feedback, and then listen to the community on that, and then either implement it if people loved it, or if people hated it, they would have not implemented it and probably just went back to normal, and people would have been reasonably happy, I'd assume. But this sort of listening to the community, I think, is pretty good step forward to from vanilla. We didn't really see too much of this in vanilla, and often we wouldn't hear responses, especially in such a short time, to things like this in the way that they patch and change the game. So that's all overall very good news. I'm a little bit unsure about the doubling of legendaries myself, though. I thought that the previous drop rate did feel pretty rewarding to me. I would play for something like 6 hours, and in that time I would usually get 1 or 2 significant upgrades for my character. You know, if I was farming pretty well, I was focused, you know, I was farming with groups, I was doing rifts, training rifts and stuff like that, I would find upgrades, and I felt like that was a pretty consistent pace. I thought that probably after 3-4 months, I would have a fully geared Demon Hunter with nothing else to really do on it. Now, the 100% drop rate buff on the legendaries does feel pretty fun, but it is going to reduce the amount of time I kind of get to spend on my Demon Hunter before I hit that I'm fully geared, now what moment. So, I don't know, I'm a little bit in two minds of it. At least once I fully gear up my Demon Hunter, I'm going to be able to play on my Monk and Wizard and stuff like that, have a bit of fun with those guys, and hopefully by that time, before I'm sort of starting to get to the point where I don't really have anything to do now, hopefully by that point they implement tiered rifts and the new latter seasons, and then we may find it's pretty fun having this high legendary drop rate. It might mean that when we're gearing up new characters, we're getting upgrades at a pretty quick pace, and maybe it feels pretty fun. I don't know, what do you guys think? Let me know. How do you feel about this level of drops? Do you think that it's just going to be like a week, a couple weeks, or a month, and people are just going to be back to saying that it doesn't feel like they're getting enough legendaries or enough upgrades? How do you guys feel about it? Anyway, that's it for now. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.